Hi, I'm Roger, a regular guy with a hotline to spirit. I want to talk to you about something really important, and that's asking. Being on the planet, we need to learn to ask and really understand what that exactly is about.
Gande ho, gai he hayon dayaho, gai dayaho. Ha.
Simply put, when we ask, stuff happens. Stuff that we want to have happen because we asked. And it is not a hokey, nonsensical thing. It's a solid thing. Being on the planet, you have to ask. Why is that? Being on the planet, we need to understand something that we're not taught. We're not taught many things, but that's why we have YouTube, right? To learn from each other of things that weren't necessarily included in our curriculum or education. And a biggie is that we don't ask. We generally focus on what we don't want. And that's not going to go well because what we focus on expands. And I'm going to talk about that in a different video. But today I want to, and it's an important topic, but today, right now, I want to focus and talk to you and share with you something that I feel is crucial, and that is you need to ask if you want something. It doesn't matter the topic. What are the rules in that? No. In your heart of hearts, a good friend of mine always says that term. Love it. In my heart of hearts, I want what? I want this. So you're asking. On the earth is a free will zone. So let's look at the setup here. The earth is a free will zone. What does that mean? It means you have absolute free will. What you decide occurs, whether you're conscious of it or not. Everything that is occurring is based upon your selection. Why is the earth a free will zone? What is that about? Well, the angelic realm said to me that we come here to experience a wide range, full range of vibration experiences. Each experience or series of experiences happen at a specific vibration. It's like going into different stores in a mall. Think of each store as like a vibration. And in that store you'll get, say, shirts. In that store you'll get shoes or sneakers. And then it develops into brands, right? And that brand gives me X, Y, and Z. So if you think of it that way, each is a vibration of the specific brand. We know then that's the experience. But we're not taught this. We're not taught that we come here to experience endless vibrations and vibrational combos. And it's like a huge adventure. And we want to see what happens. It's one of the few places in the multiverse we can come and have that experience where we're separate from source. We're never separate, of course. We are source expression, limitless source expression. So whatever we want to experience will be limitless, abundant. So much so that when I'm doing pendulum, I actually have a pendulum here. Okay, when I'm doing pendulum on someone and I'm spinning the pendulum, this pendulum will always go clockwise for yes. That's how I have my pendulum programmed. And counterclockwise will be no. But always, as it is now, the pendulum naturally goes clockwise. Yes. Why? Because the universe is always saying yes to whatever we desire, wherever we want to experience, whether we're conscious of it or not. So, yes, the earth is a free will zone. What you will comes, thy will be done. That's instruction for us. So you're willing something and you're having the experience. And you're going to keep having that experience until you change what you are willing, what you're vibrating, that selection. But sometimes we get stuck in it, or we get overwhelmed, and we can't figure it out. And that's why we ask sometimes, like in a class, you ask the teacher, you raise your hand, you have a question about something that you are learning, right? So it's the same thing. I want to understand this. You can ask to understand something. You get to call out. It's like you dial out, you get a helper. You get to ask for anything. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing to be on the planet Earth. It is. It's not a drag. And unfortunately, many come to the Earth and they're having all these experiences and they get overwhelmed and they don't know what to do with it. And they're like, oh my God. But it's actually, take a breath. It's an adventure. And what are you saying? You're saying whatever I want, I can experience. Absolutely. And sometimes we don't know what that is because we're too busy thinking about what we don't want. So you can ask for help. Or I just need help. That's a great thing to ask for. You know, there's that term, ask and it is given. Ask and it is given. It's so true. And, you know, one of the reasons we also come here is to experience different laws of the universe. One particular is cause and effect. So we are first cause. And whenever we send out, we experience. And the more we experience those effects from what we generate, we learn more and more. We increase our fluency. And the fluency is simply love. Let me ask for something that holds love for me. And we've learned that by asking for something that didn't hold love for us. So we get very clear on including what we are into what we're asking for. And what we are is love. So let me hold love for myself. And that will connect me to what I really, really, really want. And I ask for that. When I was looking for an office space, I was guided. I came in, get a room, and I was like, okay. So I asked, guide me to getting a room, and then I was guided to call someone, who then put me in contact with somebody else, who I ended up having the keys not only to an office but to his entire office wellness center by day's end. That's one example. Another example. And that was an amazing experience. And I really grew there. But I had to ask for help. Help me find a space. Then another time, this is when I started as a personal trainer. I wanted to get a personal training job, and I got hired. I wanted to get a job in this gym, and someone was saying, oh no, you can't get a job in a gym as a personal trainer because you're not certified. I was like, well, thank you for your support. And ended up getting a job in actually the same gym he worked in. It just worked out that way. But I remember making a note in my mind that I wanted to get certified because that was a smart thing. He was giving me actually some sound advice. I just didn't know how to get certified, and I didn't know what certifications to choose from. I was completely a newbie. Interesting thing. But I did put that in, what I desired, what I wanted. And I said, guide me. I got a job there. Very nice people. The owner of that gym led me to getting certified because the owner of the gym was paying for every trainer in his gyms, he had several, to get certified. He was going to pay for it. And I also love to learn. So when we ask for what we want, little add-ons come in of what we want or what we prefer. So another add-on that was so excellent was he would have doctors. The owner of that gym would have various specialists come in and teach us about healing practices to work on a client and how to, if they have a shoulder problem or if they have a hip problem, all rehab specialists would come in these doctors, and they would show us and teach us different methods and approaches to different injuries. I loved it, and I just pretty much I flourished there. But I asked to go into a direction that I felt had great promise for me in terms of my passion or what I wanted to do. And this is to show that nothing is too great, that anything is possible on the earth. I asked when my brother, I have four brothers, and when one of my brothers went missing, I asked for guidance. I asked to help me find him. And when someone goes missing for greater than 2 weeks, the kind of word on the street is that this person is probably no longer alive. And I wasn't going to accept that, and it was very difficult on my mom, as you can imagine. And I asked for help me find him. And we got a call of him being spotted in New York City. The next day I set out and I found him. Didn't know where to look. I just knew. I asked for guidance to find him in New York City, and I found him the way he would love it, which was just in time for dinner, and I took him for dinner. But I found him. He was alive. He was quite well and healthy, with a strong appetite, and it was a blessing. So it was not impossible. Nothing is impossible. So ask. You're on the planet. It's a free will zone. You have to ask. And what you ask for will come. All right? So always ask, ask, ask. No matter what it is. Make sure that it is something that holds love for you. And that's my big suggestion. Thank you so much. If you like the video, subscribe, give it a thumbs up.